Hello. What's up, y'all? Everybody, welcome to the Leaders Only Live digital podcast and show. We brought to you here by Tone, Drome, and What a Change Mentoring, Inc. I'm your host, Kendall.
Semaj.
Hey, today we're touching on the youth again, man. We're touching on, the story that we did last week. We're also touching on the exposure to the gun violence to the children and how it affect them and the cause and effect. We also touching on the the meeting that was held, called the action meeting that was held in Texas, on the youth and their input and how it affected them and what they think should happen.
Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, share, like, hit the bell, comment. And if you're watching the live stream, make sure you just hit replay. If you're not watching the live stream, make sure you put replay as you guys been doing. And also, the story that we cover today will be in the description box.
Yes, sir. Oh man, we hope that everybody's doing well, man. Everybody had a good week. And if you are going through anything that you feel any harm to yourself, any stress to yourself, to anyone else, if you know of somebody that's harmed or feeling suicidal or of anything in that nature, you can always hit the access line for it's 988. All right, so today we're gonna dive right into it. So first we touching on that story, and I got a couple things to say that was quoted by some of the coaches and how they felt after they've been interviewed and touching on the story. So one of the coaches, which was an eyewitness of the shooting, he said his killing not only leaves a hole in his family, it also has traumatized the children who was born witness to the gunfire. Half of them couldn't sleep. They've been crying, worried. They don't want to play the sport anymore. That's football. I mean, what do you expect? These are 9-year-old babies. This is one of the coaches that I witnessed it again. I know most definitely it's traumatizing to a child to see that. It's just sad how the violence in the youth sports is supposed to be their outlet and their getaway. It's supposed to be fun, safe environment. It's supposed to be, a fun time. It's supposed to be unity, because you're playing a sport that involves team efforts and brings unity. So to see the violence and it affect these young children at that, and adults are acting worse than the children, it's just kind of sad. You want to touch on that, bro?
Yeah, I agree with them. I think that, that the children are traumatized. I'm pretty sure that I think it's more like a adult issue. Like the adults are the issue. The children are not really the problem from what, I've been reading. The children been the ones just going out to have fun, play the game, but adults are bringing all their emotion into the sport. But yeah, I could see the children being traumatized, especially it being, people that they know. It's like, different when you see strangers maybe get into it and maybe, go the extra mile, which would still be like, hey, yo, that was crazy. But when you know people and then you see them, change from being nice all the time or, comforting to you, and then you just see them enacting rage, or they always telling you to do something, which is, piggybacking on like last week's show when I spoke more about, just mentors and guides and people leading you. And it's hard to follow people who just not living what they speaking, you know what I'm saying? Where every time you giving advice or you telling the child to do something, or you, in this case it's children, but what do you expect? You can't really get mad at a child or somebody else doing it if you, and you act that way when you're trying to teach them not to do that.
Right.
So I always had a big issue with that. Like I could feel where the children would be coming from, because that's why you challenge authority. And You know, they always tell a kid to stay in a child's place, but that's why they need to speak up. You know, maybe other adults wouldn't have been able to solve the situation, but maybe you never know what would have happened if the kids would have stepped up and said something like, "Hey, Mr. Talib," or "Mr." Like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like when two men and it's only one woman. The feminine is gonna balance out that masculine, that enraged.
Mm-hmm.
So a child also carries that type of purity and love and feminine with them, where they can kind of alleviate the situation. Other than that, if you can't look in a kid's face and feel no remorse before you pull the trigger, or if you can't catch yourself by saying, "Yo, I'm tripping," it goes more with you're traumatized. I feel like a lot of those coaches and adults, they still haven't healed from the trauma that they have, which makes it so easy to argue over a score.
Right.
We found out this week, which I said last week before we knew, that it probably was over something stupid, something minor, something minute, something as much as the score. And that's all it takes is, man, we blew y'all out. And then somebody be like, man, them last 2 touchdowns didn't count. And it goes back and forth. And that was my third string. And then that was my, then it gets away from football in itself. You know what I'm saying? Then it just becomes a tug of war or a competition of, words and who could be the more aggressive individual, who could be louder, because that's another thing that we do. I guarantee you they were just out there yelling back and forth, and nobody gets a point across, but whoever is the loudest think they're winning. There's actually, that's what a big problem with us is we compete everything. We don't teach these children that sports is a game, and there's other avenues. When you still drilling it. Look, I'm 38, so I was playing football in high school, 16, 17. So you still drilling it 22 years later. That all we have is a wicked jump shot, slinging crack rock. Like when you got kids making millions of dollars off of video games.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You have children out here with the mental capacity to do something, that takes less work and hard work, where that could be a conversation with the parents. You could build an empire off of video games. Like, you like video games so much, then we're gonna do this, and this. But yeah, man, I know those kids are traumatized. It's not even a thought. It's just what level and when is it gonna pop back up?
Right.
However many kids is around, you got that many levels of perception, how they perceived it. That many levels of trauma whenever they feel it, that level of depression, that level of anxiety, that level of fear now. They might hear a sound and just be like,
yeah.
You be sitting anywhere and there might be a balloon pop. Good luck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just what you did to a child.
And that leads to some of the things that hurt the child in numerous ways, as far as like just from witnessing the violence, being exposed to violence. It could have been just a simple, the argument is the first step of the aggression. I'm gonna start back. The aggression of him running across the other side of the field, which he's on the opposite team, is wrong.
Right.
So now you teaching them that. So all the things that happen and them being exposed to all the wrong can cause them to act in that rage, and then down the line they can pick up. It can turn in from saying shut the what up to I'm gonna punch you in your face and then acting with it. Yeah. And then from I'm gonna punch you in your face to I'm gonna stab you and then acting with it. And then from stabbing to shooting, and then you got all type of stuff from there. So it could cause post-traumatic stress to the child, because now, just like you said, all that flinching and hearing loud voices and just all the aggression scares the child. So now they got post-traumatic stress. You have the just resorting to aggression and violence to everything. You ain't gonna give me a piece of candy? All right, I'm gonna punch you in your face. Yeah. Or, what I'm saying? Just the simple stuff. Oh, you ain't gonna pass me the ball today? It's my turn to get the ball. Oh, I'm gonna punch you in your face, because this is what they taught. Or your mama ain't nothing. Start calling names and just picking. So all these things is a higher risk for a child to start being aggressive. Then eventually, it comes to being in the criminal lifestyle now, because now you eventually you hit the wrong person and they press charges. Now you in the system. Now you got a charge. Now it's about either they're going to pick up the same behavior and continue it, or they're going to either try to get some help or no help, and they'll waste their life. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of things that harm these children off the effect of adult. you know, especially coming from their parent or the person that they look up to. Of course, they're going to follow what they do, just like you
Right.
said. They're going to follow what they do. So, um, parents nowadays, coaches nowadays, just guardians and adults period are not thinking for the child no more. Everybody is thinking for themselves. Especially in the household nowadays, parents and grandparents are in their 30s. Like, so like I ain't have a grandparent in my 30s, you know. So I don't know what that feel like, but it's not it's not working. Like it's not working. Like um, who are we following? You know, 9 times out of 10, these kids not following their parents. They're following what's on social media or who they're influenced by. You know, and sad to say, but it's sad that they're not influenced by their own parents.
Right.
You
Well,
know, but it's not wrong though, because if you're not giving them nothing to be influenced by, with you know, besides aggressiveness and stuff of that nature, then what do you expect? So what about the kids? When are you going to step in and step up and lead by example and shut up, put up? You know.
yeah. I mean, it's a whole bunch of issues. Before you even get to those issues, I mean, they got to go back to school. You know what I'm saying? They got to
Mhm.
go be around and still be productive. So it's gonna, affect their productivity.
Yep.
That's gonna be an issue. I mean, I remember vividly and still see it to this day. That's like we had to go. We might have to jump another generation before ours because within. That's why literally I started writing the book and want to get more into writing because it's been the same. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? They've been marching since before I got here, but
Yes, sir.
for sure since I've been here, they've been marching. We've been destroying stuff, breaking stuff, burning stuff. Like all these things didn't work. It's like it's the same thing. We know the answers, man. You know to be respectful to somebody. You know
Yes,
this
sir.
only a game. You know you ain't getting paid, but you're not healed before you even walk out the house. Again, you ain't dealt with a regular issue. It don't matter who give you the issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then if there's something that was on his mind earlier, this is just something that just literally justifies. Whenever he speak, Your Honor, this happened because they're gonna run down everything. Man, I had this on my mind. I didn't mean this, and
Yeah.
and it just be like, you know what I'm saying. Then, as you do move forward with the children, it's like how do you explain that to your homeboy, your homegirl, and they're not gonna be able to cope. So you're gonna start feeling hella lonely. You know what I'm saying? Unless you start talking only to the other kids that were there, and then y'all build a bond and stuff. But a lot of things that we go through alone because a lot of people don't offer empathy to get through them. They just offer sympathy, and it's just like, oh yeah, I get it, man. Oh man, that's messed up. You know what I'm saying? It's not, oh man, what can I do to help? Or, oh man, let me tell you, I know exactly what you're going through because I went through this, whoop, so that's why I know I can identify with it. So take your time, be gentle, da 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 da. Like I said, when we dealing with a gridiron sport, such a gladiator sport, and it's masculine, you're not about to be like, calm down, you know what I'm saying? Breathe, meditate. No, now you got to be tougher. If you're teaching the kids to be tough, you got to be the ultimate lion out there. So his ego, that's all pride, ego, man. That's stuff that make you weak for real. You know what I'm saying? When you actually mature, you realize that the person that does keep their composure and keep their calm, I'm looking out for two people. You know what I'm saying? That makes a person ultimately strong because this person, that don't mean you could beat them. That don't mean that they're a punk. That just means that they value your life in theirs more than this situation. Like, man, go ahead and get it off, and we'll come back to it. Or as long as you don't touch me, man, go ahead, bro. Because I'm trying to really save you. I'll walk away and all that. But we have to be leaders and examples for the children. Or don't open your mouth to teach the children. What I would offer,
Yo, that's
as
amazing. Yeah.
just as a bit of advice for parents is not just sports, but martial arts, chess, you know what I'm saying? Things like that to just teach your kids some discipline to go with that fight and all that. So yeah, changing their music, you know what I'm saying? That's really big. I mean, a bunch of low vibrational stuff. Changing their diet, you know what I mean? If you gonna control your diet, I mean, if you can't control your diet,
At least change there.
how about you control your children's diet because they only eating what you teaching them and what you're paying for? But it's like that's again, if you don't love yourself, you're not gonna love nobody more than you love you. And I don't care what's the relationship. I don't care if it's just a parent. I don't care if it's the, girlfriend, boyfriend, your homeboys. Everybody uses the word I love you, and we're gonna dig into that a little bit more when we refer to the. Matter of fact, we talk about it now, but they inside the article, that's what he said.
One of the
Man,
panel.
we need love. You
Yes,
know what I'm
sir.
saying?
That's
So
quoted from Tony
if we
X.
need love, you have to be loved. Like that's a whole lot of work, and the only way you get to love is literally going through all the broken parts. You can't just wake up tomorrow and be like, man, I'm happy. Man, I'm loved. Nah, man, you got to go through all that hate that you are carrying. You got to go through all that sadness, all that depression, all that bad eating, all that laziness. Like you have to do a complete 180. Then you got to come back around to the 360. You got to be a full circle, but it only starts first by going the opposite way of what you already doing. It's like you got to hit an immediate U-turn, and if that don't happen, man, it's like we've been taught fight. It's cute when a woman twerking on a kid nowadays. It's cute when a little boy cursing or hollering at or smacking. I see all this stuff on Instagram and stuff. So when a young kid rubbing on a woman's butt, it's like, oh, that's my boy. And it's like, nah, you can't be disrespected. See, why in your mind you can look at it as a win, like, all right, my son is attracted to women. Now you take it a further step. Like, boy, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be going around rubbing on women's butts. You got to respect them. You take it just, and just because they're a kid or really young don't mean that they're not going to get it. It's like, I'm only watching what my dad is doing. So you come cuff his hand. Like, no, we don't just grab their butts without consent. That's not your woman. And like I said, you think it's, odd or that may be, unfair advice to you right now. But is it cool to call a kid a dumb motherfucker? Yeah.
Are you stupid motherfucker?
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that that's better to talk to a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 3-year-old like that
than
telling them,
the right
you know
thing.
what I mean? It's literally
Teaching
stuff
them
that
respect.
we have to alter. Like, and that's stuff that I would go before this year. I would go back and forth with parents on stuff like that. Will you give me every excuse that you say? I just give a little example like that.
Yeah.
How is it cool when he don't get the answer and you aggravated from work that's a dumb motherfucker?
Yeah.
Or when you come out the womb and it's fight. You've been teaching this kid fight. So yeah, he gonna punch you in the face. Fight.
How you gonna be mad?
It ain't
when
never
he hit
been
you when he get mad.
good, but it ain't never been pray. It's never been meditate.
Right.
It's never been breathe. It's never been, and I've been here 38 years, so you can't tell me it hasn't been this way because I got the experience myself. I'm speaking from experience of observation and what I went through. Right. You know what I'm saying? But these are simple things, just changing your verbiage. You know what I'm saying? It's just like cursing at people or being. I don't curse at people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really get me upset, but I don't even care. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm being nice to everybody. Yes, no, can I help you? Again, we just sold out again. Leader A's, we selling books, we selling hairspray, we selling this. And it's not even our community that's buying it, but it's being loving, man. I don't say go love yourself or be a leader and I'm gonna live that. I don't even have to say nothing. When I present myself, it doesn't matter. You could be a KKK member and I could sit down and have a conversation with you because you don't sway me. You don't sway me. I'm not giving up the pressure or I'm not giving up my power. Yeah. Say what you got to say and all this. But when you hanging on to a lot of truth, a lot of them lies don't even matter. Right. Same thing. You could be sitting somewhere like that as a kid. And I've been that kid. Mm-hmm. Like, man, they lying. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even helping them. But I love them and I got to stay in the child's place. But that's where we got to get to now. A child's place is checking the adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're wrong. You're acting like a child.
If you use the quote, you learn something every day from all shapes, ages, and sizes. And all that, then you can't take it from a child. You can learn from anything, learn from anybody, all ages, all sizes, all shapes.
And
all
as
races.
adults, y'all being super selfish. You know what I'm saying? Making a kid lose the love for a game. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like kids that don't want to play football. You know what I'm saying? They're like you said, they're babies. They don't even want to play no more. Like I wanted to come out here and play around with my friends. Like we have to stop doing that as miserable adults. And I'm saying we, and I ain't even miserable. You know what I'm saying? But I say we because it's our job. That's why I never point my finger and say y'all.
Right.
I want y'all to calm down so I can help parent your kid. When I step in, you get the fuck away from my kids. They're my kids. All right, man. You know what? Don't call me when it's another issue.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because your kid is somebody I love too.
Right.
And in the grand scheme of things, that's my kid. You know what I mean? Because when you're not around, you would want me to fend for them.
Right.
If somebody came
Defend
out here
them.
right now, I would have to
Tease
put
them.
my life on the line first. Because a kid got to survive. So you got to go first.
Right.
It's people that won't even do that. Like, man, let him.
Yeah.
You understand?
Selfish.
Let him. Not knowing that we keep going. We working on soul play right now. Your soul and your spirit. All this 3D stuff.
Sir. And that's why all these triggers is being pulled and all that, because we're not thinking deeply on the emotional side. We just,
Right.
you know,
So I want to give y'all a couple quotes and things that were quoted from the meeting from the people that sat on the panel in this community in Texas, right?
mhm.
So I'm gonna piggyback off the first one. Love. Tony X is the ex-con. That's what he went by. That's what his title was. Tony X, ex-con.
Yeah, I think
Love
the
is
the
love
X
is
too, they didn't want to release the last names.
right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, they won't give you their last name, so they'll put the X
X.
to protect them.
Okay. So Tony, love is a verb that shows action. When you love our children, when you love our community, then you can do better by loving for yourself.
Right.
Um, Corinne Reese is the co-host of Can We Talk, which are the mothers of athletes, pro, college, and high school athletes. They have a podcast called Can We Talk. Her input was the first action needed to be done is more parenting in the household. I got a 9-year referee named Kevin Bennett. His overall intake was it just needs to be more respect across the board. And then the last one I have is Terrence Randolph. He's the community leader. He said nowadays in this community, there's no structure. At these games, you see smoking, drinking, you see more gambling. You see less patrolling. You see police sitting in their cars. The officers that are supposed to be community officers and protectors are sitting in their cars or on their phones. Everybody is posting, and everybody is ignoring what's really going on. So that was just some of the things that the community of Texas, when they had their call of action, that was the people that sat on the panel. That was their input.
All right, so uh, I know y'all been seeing all over the internet and all over social medias your monkeypox. That's still an issue. So be very, cognitive of your cleanliness and your personal hygiene. They still throwing the COVID out there, so that's rising too. So make sure you follow the COVID instructions with the mask and the social distancing. Above all, work on your immunity, eat correctly, protect your mind, protect your energy. You can't be depressed and all that, because that's what these stories will do. They will break down your immune system. And it's been called to our attention that the District of Columbia will not, allow unvaccinated students to attend school, and will offer no alternative learning options, according to Mayor Bowser. And that's when students that got 20 days to get this certification, the immunization certification. Um, my personal preference and thoughts, I'm happy about that. Um, Finally, y'all can homeschool. I've been saying this for years. I don't believe we should be in these people's schools, but that's another topic for another time. And don't forget about the mental health number. It's 988.
He got you.
Um, and yeah, so moving forward, I know you just said about the love being the action. That's where I start with everything. You know what I'm saying? I just love yourself. You know what I mean? I know we have a couple questions, so we can get into that, and we'll pick back up on next week. But that love being the action, man. Until you love yourself, I don't care what we're talking about. You're not gonna be able to house your emotions, so we're never gonna get a solution. So you know what I mean? Just be very mindful of the loving yourself, and then you'll pass it on to others. But that's in all capacities, man. You got to treat your body like a temple, mind, body, soul, spirit, all the cliche stuff. Be very mindful of that. So, yeah. And I know the questions you want to get.
Give me. Well, I'm gonna get. I'm gonna ask you one question, and you can ask me one question. My question for you is: on the football field, or on? No, I'm gonna say, in any sport that you play, did you ever act out in rage on the field and regret it?
I never acted out on the field and regretted it. I never took it overboard. I did walk off the field, like I quit during the game before, but it didn't disrupt the game. Like I got up out of there. You know what I mean? It looked like I could have been injured and stuff and changed it. But yeah, I've been in arguments. You know what I'm saying? I've been into just trash talking, but I never regretted nothing because again, somebody else has to initiate it for me. I know what I'm here for. When I was in high school, I was planning to get a scholarship to go to college. When I was in college, it was either go pro. Once you figure out you ain't going pro, you just want to graduate. So different levels, you know what I'm saying? Especially now, like I said, I don't even watch the sport. So if I missed the game, like it's Sunday, I don't care. You know, the pastor ain't got to rush and get us out of church or
waiting
on that.
o'clock.
Yeah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff is not controlling my emotions no more. And I understood that was one of my weaknesses.
Right.
That was one of my triggers. So I can't be kicking it and then talk to you for an hour about Brian Leftwich being a coach. I don't care.
Right.
Unless he got some mental health issues or some stuff going on in the world that can inspire me, I don't care. Like Deion Sanders, I'm hearing about his stuff away from the field just because he's changing, you know, the capacity of it. So yeah, I haven't watched one Jackson State game, but that's the type of stuff I'm looking for. I would reach out like that. How can I help Coach Prime, because he's making the effect on these children's lives bigger than football. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody not gonna go pro. So yeah, never to where I regretted it. I have, you know, got kicked out of game for taunting in high school.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I remember.
But all I did was flip the ball. Like I remember
Aaron Rouse.
I flicked the
You got
ball
hit
at him.
15. You got hit.
And then the other one,
right out of the play late,
and
then he threw the ball.
I flipped it. He was talking to me. I flipped it, and then the other one I threw a touchdown, and we was just barking at each other. I'm running down the field talking my talk, and I'm thinking that's a part of the game. Like you just talking trash, you know. Yeah. But I don't regret that. I just wish it didn't happen. But rule number one, you got to learn to live with regret. So that's why you think about it before you gonna do it. You know what I mean? And so I asked a question. You know, I guess what was the the most challenging part of you playing sports, be it youth or high school?
All right, so all my life, like I grew up with y'all, and then we grew up around a bunch of athletes. So my thing was like, the biggest challenge for me was just coming after who's in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like playing on when I started with the Steelers, had to come behind John. I was one of the stars on that team, so it really wasn't nothing. But when I started being in the Beacon, start playing for sixth grade campus, and start being in our local paper and things of that nature, and then I started seeing, we had Deion Rubottoms, we had Kenny Painters, we had all them people that we got come after, and then Robert Jackson, the coach, is coming down to Bayside Middle, and then y'all playing. I got to follow all these Maurice Fenner. We got to follow all these hitters. And I always thought I was nice. So that was my biggest challenge, is not messing up. I got y'all coming to the JV games. It was, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like that no more. Like, that was the thing. Like, y'all be at our, when Wolfpack play, everybody, like, when them games, like, the community was there. Like, when we go play football at the rec yard, like, that joint is packed.
Right.
Like, everybody is there. Like, it's not even like that no more. So, yeah, my biggest challenge was coming after the stars, which I looked at y'all as the stars,
And, yeah, man, so with that being said, man, we appreciate y'all, tapping in. We hope pray y'all have a great week. Share it, like it, subscribe, comment.
And if you're watching after, pound, replay in the comments.
Yep. And email us at Leaders Only with any questions, concerns, comments, ideas. leadersonly22@gmail.com. And we look forward to hearing from you. Also reach us on IG at Leaders Only Show, Touch of Kendall's, El Capitan Ambassador, Tone Drone TV, What a Change, Mentoring. You can get the book, grab some of these fly hats, some of this merch at El Capitan Cartel. Check us out, man. We got everything. So love y'all, man.
Peace.